I returned back to my hometown of Pune after spending 30 years in the Middle East, working in the hospitality and service industry, to what I thought would be a retired life. I had worked with high-end hotel companies and luxury travel operators, providing services to high net worth individuals and senior corporate executives. I learned a lot along the way. I learned what service meant, I learned what privilege meant, and I learned what it was to be a supplier for the luxury market. I learned the hard way how much one needed to compromise, adapt, change, learn and unlearn to satisfy my very needy and demanding customers. I learned to be patient, resilient, strong, and maintain a can-do attitude for every request made. I learned to take on challenges, meet hard to achieve targets, and influence those around me to achieve the outcomes expected out of me. Reflecting back, I realized that as tough as the professional journey had been, it had prepared me to be one that is open to challenge, open to learning the unknown, and open to believing in a high possibility. It had taught me to work with multiple teams across multiple cultures and build partnerships and relationships, which are so important for anybody working in the service industry. Back home in Pune, having been a working woman all my life, I very quickly got restless in the retirement mode that I was in and decided to get back to work. I wanted to work in an environment that would offer me the opportunity to learn something new and broaden my horizons, and at the same time, challenge me. I also wanted to spend my time feeling inspired and motivated. I knew I did not want to go back to what I did and knew best. I knew I wanted to test my ability to transfer what I knew or what I'd learned, and I wanted to ensure that I was able to do so while making significant contributions to the city and society in which I grew up. I looked around me and spoke to several people while doing my day-to-day chores. I realized the hardships that common people faced every day. I also saw a hopelessness in these people and the burden they felt of life and their responsibilities. I started seeking opportunities in the social sector as I realized that if any sector needed service the most, it was this one. And I had plenty of experience. I wanted to contribute towards improving the lives of the second generation of these common people, for their lives to change. And I realized that education was the key. I knew I had the qualities and skill set to contribute to this sector and make a difference. I realized that to work in the social sector, one needed to have a strong service inclination. One needed strong partnership and relationship building skill set, strong problem solving mindset, and one needed to be patient, resilient, and agile. I was very fortunate to get to the opportunity to work with the Teach for India family in Pune. And let me tell you what a journey that's been. Broken down every single paradigm that I entered with, and there were times when my confidence was totally busted. Let's start at the beginning. The only job interview I had ever given in my 30-year-long career was at hotel school when I graduated and got my first job. Post that, the next 4 assignments that I held were transacted over coffee or lunches with managing directors and general managers, where one was invited to join the team. And so when I emailed Shaheen to express my interest, she invited me for a coffee to Mumbai. We sat together for more than an hour or so, and I came back thinking, I'll hear from her soon. What actually happened post that coffee was a series of pre-work assignments and 4 very hard interview rounds. That was my first reality check. I was no more in a world where I was the master of the know-how or where I was the one being headhunted. Instead, I was the one seeking or being tested. And after many, many years, I felt the nervousness one feels when the ground is unsteady. I then entered into the world of Teach for India, specifically in Pune, to a broken house. Pune had just been through a hurricane of sorts, and the team, the alumni, the ecosystem itself was hurting. My team in the city and my fellows both looked at me skeptically. Can we trust her? Who is she? What does she know about what we do? I felt the whispers around me. We've heard she was working with some fancy hotels and travel companies. We've heard she's been dealing only with the rich and famous. What's that got to do with the work we do? The team had been holding the fort for nearly 6 months on their own and had been through a lot. They continued to look at me skeptically. My manager Sandeep and my CEO Shaheen both looked at me with hope. And for the second time, I felt the same nervousness. Will I be able to deliver? As I got into the workspace, into meetings, into classrooms, I realized how little I knew about the technical aspects of the work involved, how big and wide the world of Teach for India actually was, how young the organization was, how everything I took for granted in a workspace was still being built in this organization. The Taj Group of Hotels and the Intercontinental Hotel Company with whom I spent several years is 150 years old. The Ritz-Carlton Hotel Company is 111 years old, and the Elegant Resorts Travel Corporation is 39 years old. Systems were set, policies were set, rules and regulations were set, human resources were set. At Teach for India, when I had my first 2 team members go on maternity leave, and it was time for them to come back to resume work, it was the first time that somebody from the staff team was coming back to work post having babies. We had to kind of set up a new way of working. For me, they were returning back to work like the hundreds and thousands of women around the world who go on maternity and resume work. But for Teach for India, it was the first 2. Was my approach and expectation unemotional? Was it uncaring? Why was everybody thinking differently from me? I realized then I needed to adapt faster than I actually was. Very early on, one day I sat at our staff meeting in the Darbar room, and for some reason the topic of age and experience came up. And the oldest person in the room that day was 30. And that's when it struck me that when I started working, none of these people were even born. For the third time, I felt the same nervousness. Will I be able to work with this set of beautiful young people without a generation gap? Will I be able to gain their trust and influence them? Will they accept me as their own? I realized I needed to work doubly hard to prove myself. I realized I needed to make some impact to be trusted. I realized I needed to study the technical aspects of the work we do to gain respect. I realized I needed to build a network of connections within the ecosystem to learn about the sector. And finally, I realized my notion of wanting to feel challenged and motivated and test my transferability into a contrasting career was quite naive, romantic, and not very well thought out. As I understand the educational landscape of this city more and more, I'm convinced I made the right choice. I'm motivated to see the difference I'm able to make. I'm challenged by the need to practice the transferability of skills in such a contrasting career path, and I'm happy to see the results. What I realized is the final product that you work with actually does not matter. What you learn along the way does. Previously, I solved complex problems that would lead to humongous financial losses for the company if not solved. Today, I solve complex problems that could lead to humongous losses in the future of the communities we serve if not solved. Previously, I needed to be constantly innovative and creative to add value to my offering for the very demanding clients I had. Today, I need to be constantly innovative and creative to work within the limited resources available. Previously, I had financial targets to meet. Today, I have fellow and student outcomes to meet. The last 1.5 years has woken up my brain like never before. I've gotten to know a whole new world, learned a whole new area of knowledge, worked with the most amazing, talented, passionate, and connected teams ever, made connections with dynamic, courageous, and enterprising alumni, and experienced the pure love from the communities we serve. The last 1.5 years have had my cup completely filled up. Over and above this, I'm able to build a movement of leaders and serve the children of the city, even though indirectly. I know that I will provide them the key to a bright, new, and improved future. And that fulfillment and sense of possibility is my driving force to keep learning, to keep working harder, and to be committed to changing their life's trajectories. I think this is the single most important reason to be here and continue to do what I do. Thank you.